Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. In this episode, I talked to Prathima Bhat about Carnatic performances. Hi Prathima, thanks for accepting my invite to participate in this podcast. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. Thanks, Venkat, for the opportunity. I'm glad to be a part of the podcast. It's very interesting. It's one of my first, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Great. So, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do?
Yes, so I am professionally, I'm an engineer working as an embedded software engineer here in California. I have been residing in California for the last 2 years, and prior to this, I was in Michigan, USA for 10 years. So for the past 12 years, I am here in the US. Um, just to give a brief background, I have done a master's in computer science from Oakland University in Michigan, and I'm working as an engineer since 2008. Apart being professionally an engineer, I am actually very passionate Carnatic music vocalist. I've been learning music since the age of 6, still continuing to do so. I also have given a lot of stage performances. And yeah, and I hope I can still continue it as a passion and, take it forward.
Okay, wonderful. Is your WhatsApp on by any chance? I'm hearing notifications.
No, actually, I have put my phone on airplane mode, to be honest.
Okay, then it should be mine. Just a second. Yeah, great. So, thanks for updating on where you live and what you do. Um, Tell us about your passion for Carnatic music. How did it all start, and what are the things you are passionate about Carnatic?
Well, yeah, of course, it started at home. My parents have been big connoisseurs of music. My mother and my grandmother, they have also learned music. I have seen my mother, learning music when I was very young, and I used to sit in her classes. And yeah, I just one day picked one of the songs and started singing. I was very young, probably 3 or 4 years old, and this was actually in some event that we had gone to at my uncle's house, and one of my father's relatives, who is a very accomplished actually Carnatic music artist, he overheard me singing one of the geetams actually. And then he came and told my father, you need to enroll this kid into music for sure. She has um, definitely she has this knack for music, because I was able to sing with talam and in a good rhythm, in a good shruti. So then it happened so that my mother enrolled me into classes with her guru, Sri Madhur Bal Subramaniam. That was back in Manipal, way years ago, and I was just 6 years old, and I started my music journey there. So he taught me with a lot of passion, and I would say a lot of effort has been put by my parents also. My mother would take me to a lot of concerts to listen to, and also to a lot of competitions where she would take me. I have won prizes as well, but she would of course encourage me to keep, putting a lot of hard work and dedication into it. The one statement that she would say is, yes, you won a prize, you mean you are very good, but don't forget that there are other people who are better than you in the world. So that kept me motivated and going. um, and then it happened so that my father was in a transferable job, and we went several places, so my teachers kept changing. But then finally, when I landed in Bangalore, I it was during my engineering days. I mean, and I joined Sri Devi Nagarajan as my guru, And I started, I put in more and more effort, and I started giving concerts. He also encouraged me to give concerts and performances, stage performances. It just grew in me, within me, as I grew. And it's kind of it's such a part of my life right now that I can't partake with it with anyone. It's almost like that gives me a lot of um, confidence, and it's kind of my best friend, I would say. So that's how my music journey started. And once I got married, my thankfully I have a husband, a very loving husband who supports me in music, and he also has been very encouraging. And once I came to the US, I enrolled with Akare sisters from Chennai. So I'm their disciple. And I have been learning music with them for the last 7 years. And yeah, and their teaching made me even more motivated to, keep going and learning. So even after being a full-time professional, being a mother to a 2.5-year-old kid, I still try to make time every day for my music, at least an hour to practice. And that keeps me going. It's helped me in a lot of walks of my life, either in my sadness, in my happiness. It's been there with me. So that's how my Carnatic music journey is.
Wow, wonderful. 1 hour a day, that too when you have a small kid, that's fantastic. Tell us about your unique experiences when when you were performing in the stage. Um, any kind of interesting experiences that you want to share?
Yeah, I always feel performance is a byproduct of your hard work. So there was a time when I thought, I had become my goal was to give a performance. But then I slowly realized that as soon as you become performance oriented, your learning curve kind of becomes either stagnant or it kind of starts declining. You just don't start focusing on small details of your art or your performance or your singing that you can actually improve. But in the last few years, like in the US, when I started learning from Akare sisters, I decided that I should want to focus on learning the art as well as possible, and make it perfect as and when I, go every day in my practices, so that I can focus on small details. So performance just happens as a byproduct, and it comes automatically. Like probably you sing somewhere, somebody likes your singing and they want to give you an opportunity to sing on stage. And everything is a learning experience. Being on stage is also not easy. Like there are always surprises every time that I've been on stage. Either it's a solo or a group performance, there is a surprise element. It could either be with the mic not working correctly as you expected, or your accompanists. I mean, it happened so that there was something that they played that you didn't expect, or your shruti is not working correctly. There is something or the other, or and you were singing and you just forgot some lines of songs. And I have had all these kind of experiences on stage multiple times. But it's about learning from each experience and moving forward. Another point that I want to put forward is, as a human being, we always make mistakes, and we learn from our mistakes actually. But when it comes to a stage performance, you always think, I have to sing this correctly and perfectly. And it happens so that sometimes, unfortunately, or you had a bad moment, I would say. It's okay to make such mistakes, and then you actually learn from that and you do well the next time. Earlier I was in a notion that, oh my god, what did I just do? I shouldn't have done this. I practiced this so many times and I couldn't deliver it as I thought. I have always been a person who's been very critical of myself, especially my music. I always feel, oh, I could have done an improvement here, I should have improved there. But then stage experiences is very, very different. So you're sitting and you have several pairs of eyes, looking at you. There is lighting on you. There is accompanists with you who are playing along. So It's a very unique setup, and every time you do not get to rehearse when you are actually on stage. A lot of times with Carnatic music performances, it's just on the go. You go on stage, you have your accompanist, and you start singing. But it's a beautiful learning experience, and you should not look at your mistakes as your mistakes. It's about taking it as, okay, yeah, this was something I should improve on, and look at it as an improvement part, and that makes you feel better. So yeah, every performance has been unique actually, but there has been times when you sing, and when the audience appreciates you, and you can see when the audience appreciates you, there's a thunderous clap or something for one of the songs that you sang. The sense of satisfaction that you get, that you actually were able to connect with the audience and you're able to actually deliver, is amazing. It's a beautiful feeling, and sense of achievement, and it just makes you feel happy that okay, at least I'm able to, it's going somewhere. I am able to put this forward in front of somebody and they are liking it. So that feeling is also amazing actually. So it's a very different experience, to be honest.
Okay, great. A couple of interesting points on that. The first thing is that I wrote a short story in my first book about a Carnatic performer. And
Okay.
during her performance, she would lose her voice. Like
Yeah.
she will open the mouth and voice, she won't, the voice won't come out. And so how she manages that situation with the help of the accompanying artists is
Okay.
something the story is about, and you can take a look if you find time. That's one point. The other point is you mentioned that once you start performing, your learning curve somewhat gets affected. I would like to understand because when you learn something because of the performance, when you're performing and you figure that you could improve something in the performance during the performance itself, that's actually a learning, right? That you can take it back and try to incorporate in your learning, right? So why is the learning curve getting affected because of the performance?
No, I didn't mean the learning curve gets affected because of the performance. I meant that when you become just performance oriented, not like you learn music for the sake of music, you learn the art for that art, but not like, okay, I just want to give a performance, so I'm going to learn just for the performance. That's what I was trying to make a point there. So that's when your learning curve actually becomes only about the performance, not about actually learning the music, because music is so deep, there is so many things in it. Like as I said, performance is just a byproduct of it, and you will learn a lot of things from your own performances. I'm not saying no there, but the thing is, when you're learning an art, any art for that matter, it should be for the sake of the art. This is what I believe in, and I this is from my own experience actually. When you learn music for the sake of music, it's when you start exploring its intricacies, when you start exploring its feel. And there is a lot of factors in music, Carnatic music especially. There's a lot of ragams, lot of things to explore, and there's a lot of creativity. um, uh, that focus gets a little shifted when you start thinking, okay, I am going to learn because I have got a concert. That should not be the thought process, is what I was trying to say. Concert is there, that is going to be there. You learn from a concert. Concert is just a part of your learning. It should not be your that you are learning for a concert. So it should be more like a thing that goes together, and you perform and you learn from that also. So that's what I meant. I think I didn't put it in right words probably earlier.
Oh, that's okay. I got what you're saying. So great. Let's talk about mano-dharmam.
Yeah.
In your experience and the way that you practiced mano-dharmam, can you share some unique experiences on both the ragam as well as the swaram?
Yeah, so with the mano-dharmam, as the name suggests, actually it's creativity. You Mano-dharmam it should come from within you. The more you listen to all the stalwarts of music, like just one ragam, you just take one ragam, explore just one ragam, just listen to different stalwarts singing, say for example, Hindodam. It's just simple. It has only five notes. Sagamadani Sani Namagas. So when you listen to different people singing one particular ragam, you see different flavors on how Hindolam can be presented actually. So the only way you learn Manodharmam is by listening. There is a time in Carnatic music where where you can keep learning songs and kritis, and that will keep on going. But then there is one aspect of listening to different music, like different kind of um, um, artists singing a particular ragam in different way, and that's when you start imbibing it. And when you listen, it should not be just listening, you should be able to absorb it as well and focus on certain details on how they sang a particular line, how they sang a particular swaram, how they put it across. That's when you actually start realizing, and you can bring your own creativity when you listen to so many people. And of course, you get influenced by some artists. I mean, that is very natural. You love a couple of artists, you get influenced by them, you want to sing like them, but that's also fine. But at one point, there will be a point where you would listen so much that the ragam will automatically come out, as your own creativity. That's one point. The second thing is, the more songs and varnams you learn in a particular ragam, that helps a lot in understanding a ragam and also singing the swaram actually. So the more the lot of there are a lot of kritis composed by various artists. So the more you explore, the more you learn in a particular ragam, actually that gives you a very good insight into how a ragam is made, how it's feel. When you sing Manodharmam, it's not just singing the ragam, like just singing the notes, or sing when you sing the swaram, it is not just the notes. You should bring the feel of the ragam also, and that actually comes with practice. Practice and practice, like practice makes a man perfect. You keep practicing that particular ragam over and over, over and over again, and listening, many artists, it naturally comes to you as your own creativity. So this is my experience actually.
Great. Wonderful. There is a lot of thought and research going on well-being and how Carnatic music can contribute to human well-being. Do you have any experiences and thoughts on that?
Yes, I can share a recent experience too. The last couple of months has been stressful with respect to work and some things that has been going on. So when I had my class with my guru, she said she knew what was going on, and she wanted. I sang actually. I think I don't remember which kriti I sang. I sang one of the ragams. We finished one kriti and we sang, and then she wanted to make me feel better. She said, "Can you sing Ananda Bhairavi?" So I said, "Okay, no problem." And we sang Marivere, one of the famous kritis in Ananda Bhairavi. I sang that in the class. And after singing that, the stress level in my mind automatically changed. Ananda Bhairavi is known to actually make you very calm. It's one of the most calming ragams. And it made a huge difference when I sang the kriti, and we finished the kriti, and my guru also said, "Do you feel better?" I said, "Yes, I do. I actually feel much better actually." She said, "Now you can go and relax." So there is, I mean, the studies that we have seen, like does Carnatic ragams, a lot of ragams have a lot of effect actually with respect to the mind. There is Neelambari that's supposed to induce a good sleep. And I don't remember. There's, I think, Bhupalam is the ragam that you sing in the morning. Ahiri is a morning raga. Um, So when you sing a song, it actually generates different energies. So so that's what, and the different set of energies actually has a different effect on your body. So it is kind of scientifically known that Carnatic music and its ragams are actually known to be beneficial for different conditions. I think a lot of research has been done, and there is music therapy also. People have, taken certifications, and actually they have, I think, even experimented using that. So yeah, and I believe that in general, listening to music also is pretty calming actually. But there are certain ragams which has its own flavors, and it can give you its own effects on your body.
Yeah, for me, it's a sahana, which
Yeah.
relaxes me a lot, and also it provides it kind of inspires me to um, start something afresh, right? So it induces that energy in me. So it is not just for the relaxation purpose, but it also like uh, like a bootstrap for me. So that's the kind of experience that I faced with the dragon. So very interesting, and I'm sure that a lot of research is also being done on this, and people are starting doing research on the effect of Carnatic music on the human well-being, and it's great to know all that. So great. So thanks for sharing all that about Carnatic music. Let's talk about your hobbies and interests apart from work. I read that you do a lot of hiking. Can you tell us about your hiking experiences?
Yeah, I mean, prior to having a kid, me and my husband, we used to do a lot of traveling across US. To be honest, we have seen most of US. I've done a lot of trips to many of the national parks here. Nature is beautiful, whether in US or India. I mean, it's nature is one place where you're away from your daily chaos, and it's kind of like music that gives you a lot of calming effect. And I have enjoyed hiking. My husband also enjoys a lot of hiking. We have been very adventurous as a couple. So yeah, and we have done a lot of a couple of adventure hiking too. For example, we have done the Zion Narrows in Zion National Park, which is a slot canyon where you have a river going in between the slot canyon, and you actually hike on the river. Um, and in Zion, there is another hike called Angel's Landing, which is like a big elevation and up hiking, and it's a pretty known to be a pretty tough hike and quite dangerous also. Um, there is like when you hike, there are many things, like you spend time with your family or whoever you're hiking with your partner. You can talk about a lot of things, and you can also get away from all this daily chaos, and it brings a different perspective to life when you see nature. Actually, nature is so beautiful. You can actually sit and admire nature for hours together. And yeah, and actually we've done a lot of such hiking adventures. With the kid also we tried. We have done locally here. We sometimes just put our kid on the stroller and just hike for 3-4 miles, where we just talk. The kid also starts enjoying. My son also starts enjoying. He's running for some time, then he sits in the stroller. But it's a very good one way. It also gives you a good workout. And the other thing is you get a lot of time to spend with yourself, also with your mind. Sometimes you don't even need to talk, you just walk together. I mean, that builds your relationship actually. So especially in nature, when there is, you can hear a lot of noise, like there's birds chirping, you can hear some insects, you can see the colorful trees, the colorful flowers in the trees. There's leaves, there's greenery around you. Necessarily not be greenery. Actually, the hikes that we have been, especially in deserted areas like Arizona and all, that's a different kind of nature. But you see a lot of different flavors of nature also, and gives a lot of calming effect, and I feel it's a good avenue for you to spend time with your husband, and which you generally these days in this life, in this fast moving life, it's become so mechanical that sometimes you don't get time to spend actually. So I believe that such adventures do help in building the relationship and going forward.
Wonderful. So I have been putting off hiking myself, and I have to start that. Um, so the environment here is kind of difficult. It is not as easy as US, where the paths are
I know.
clearly laid and there are support systems all around with signboards and all that. Here it is a bit difficult, but I have to do that sometime. Um, Great. Uh, that's
I
wonderful.
actually I actually started liking hiking when I did one of the hikes with my office colleagues in India, in Bangalore. We went to a place near Kurk, and it's actually very beautiful. We could hear elephants, far off. And we were just hoping that we don't encounter elephants in front of us, but it was beautiful. That's when I started enjoying it actually. And then I happened to get married to a husband who actually loves hiking. So you should definitely try it out.
Yeah, sure. I have tried it out in San Antonio Ranch when I was in California. Um,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
and Yeah, so in India, I found it a bit difficult to do that because the trails are not that, it's pretty steep and you need a lot of energy than in the US to hike in India.
I know,
So,
I get it. Yeah, I get
yeah,
it.
okay, great. So, tell us a bit about your work. What do you do?
Yeah, so I work as an embedded software engineer, mainly working in one of the medical device companies here, in California. So typically, embedded software is used in most of the electronic devices wherever an MCU is involved. When I say MCU, it's a microcontroller is involved. You have embedded software. So be it medical devices and IoT, smartphones, smart home devices, you have automotive, cars, everywhere there is embedded software involved. I have gotten an opportunity to work in the automotive domain as well as the medical device domain. I particularly found medical device domain very interesting. The projects that I was working on was based on for implantable medical devices, something that's not yet in the market. I mean, especially medical devices need a lot of um goes through a lot of processes and permits and everything that takes it several years for it to actually come out in the market after a lot of trials, and sometimes the clinical trials do fail, sometimes they are successful and then they are out in the market for the use of public. So the recent project that I was working on has been pretty interesting. It's something to stimulate the optical nerves to help the blind. I'm really hoping that this product comes out later in future. Hopefully after all the trials and they do some additions on top of that and then bring out in the market. Um, yeah, so and also as part of my earlier job, I also worked as a lead actually. So I have some amount of management experience leading a team of couple of engineers and offshore in India and then on-site here in the US. So yeah, and it's kind of a different field when it comes to software engineering. I think I mean, everyone is almost into software engineering these days. There is so much technology that's so fast moving, and you have to keep upskilling yourself to be in the market. And but it's pretty interesting also when you work on these devices or when you work on these software that has these end user applications that finally leads to such beautiful products that you actually use, and you don't realize how much of effort goes into bringing a product outside. Let it be your smartphone, let it be just a simple thermostat. Even that has some kind of a, embedded software in it actually. So yeah, so this is basically my work.
Okay, wonderful. So we are coming to the end of the discussion of the podcast. Do you have any questions for me?
I'm very happy to be a part of this podcast, Venkat. It's been very nice talking to you. I believe you're also into embedded software, and I think you also mentioned last time that you are also into music, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm trained in Carnatic music. So I learned
Okay.
violin for a while. But I'm not practicing right now, but I'm just a curious listener these days.
Okay, okay. That's nice to know that there are some connoisseurs out there. And yeah, it's been very nice talking to you, and thanks a lot for this opportunity.
No problem. Thanks a lot for appearing in the podcast and giving time to talk to us. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and your work and Carnatic music and all the travel that you are planning to make.
Thank you, and yeah, I wish you the same. I hope you have more speakers in your podcast, and where you can talk about various topics, and yeah, that would like be intriguing and really nice for other users, other listeners also, and they also get motivated to speak about their life experiences. That would be nice.
Absolutely. If you have your friends or anybody in your circle who would like to talk about a wide, diverse set of topics, they are welcome. So let me know and have a good one. And thank you for appearing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Venkat. Thank you.
Take
You
care.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That was a great podcast with Prathima Bhat. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.